He remains in jail on a $20,000 bond and is scheduled for arraignment in General Sessions Court today. Meanwhile, former Warren County Sheriff Tommy Myers, who served over 30 years in local law enforcement, passed away Sunday and is remembered as a skilled investigator and dedicated public servant. For more, subscribe to www.mainstreetjournal.llc. With the news, I'm Justin Reed.
Need a pick-me-up? Start your day at the Cafe at Tree City. Open daily from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. They serve rich, bold espresso, pulled to perfection. Pair it with one of their delicious treats for the perfect combo.
Their skilled baristas are passionate about crafting your perfect cup, whether it's a classic latte or a refreshing cold brew. They've got your coffee cravings covered.
Short on time? Order ahead for quick pickup or curbside delivery. Your fresh coffee is just a sip away.
The Cafe at Tree City, your go-to spot for expertly crafted espresso drinks. Wake up, sip up, enjoy.
Today, it's going to be mostly cloudy skies with a high near 76, with a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, most likely this morning and again this afternoon. Light winds shifting to the north-northeast around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies with a low around 58, a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms early this evening, with just a slight chance of showers later on and calm winds. Fun fact, Thor's name means thunder in Old Norse, fitting for the god of storms and lightning. Until next time, keep shining. This is Tisha with your weather.
It's time for Simmons Says, the show that brings Warren County the latest news and stories from around the community. Hosted by Jeff Simmons, this program dives into everything from local events to major headlines. Stay tuned and stay informed.
Hello and welcome to the Simmons Says radio show here on WBMC 97.7 FM. I am your host, Jeff Simmons, and hope everybody is having a terrific Tuesday. Connor, I know that you'll enjoy that, because we don't speak in platitudes enough on the Simmons Says show. I think we're kind of like the surly morning people.
Yeah,
I think Raven and Justin do probably a better job of like, hey, wake your morning up.
They're pretty cheery
with cheery people, and then it's like, oh, okay, well then you get Simmons and Connor in there, and you're like, there's nothing cheery about those guys.
No, it's a tired Tuesday for me.
It's a very tired Tuesday for myself, and I will say I don't even want to try to compare because I know it's a lot tougher for you than me today. I know it. You were up earlier. I mean, everything was a lot tougher for you. I know. We're not gonna battle that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I'm too tired to battle.
Yeah. Well, you've listened to my dad enough to know that if I know I'm gonna lose, I start trying to change the rules and everything. But if I just know I'm going to lose right at the start, I'm not even going to fight that fight. We are going to have Coach Eric Ballou, football coach, in the studio after the first break. But before we do that, then I'm going to go ahead and bump up the Simmons' 2 cents plus a nickel back for today, and then we're going to move social media commentary to tomorrow because we want to make sure that we have plenty of time to talk to Coach Ballou about the upcoming spring practice for the high school football team. Be his first spring practice. Coach Ballou's going to be in his first year guiding the Pioneers, and then also I think they got a bunch of fundraisers they're doing right now, and we're going to get everybody on page on what they're doing and how you can help support your Pioneers. Hey. Coach Ballou came in bearing gifts, Connor. I got
brought gifts?
Yeah. I went from this hat that I had at the start of the morning to this hat.
The old Pioneer Pete?
Yeah. And I've already been told that now because of the blue collar shirt today and now the hat, they're like, hey, you kind of look like you're on the Pioneer coaching staff.
Oh, you kind of do, actually.
I kind of look like, yeah. What do you think? What position? I'll ask Coach. I was like, hey, what position do I look like I coach looking like this?
You coach the water boy. Come on, son. Get the hustle up.
Let's go. Come on. In guard tackle. All right. The Simmons 2 cents and a nickel back. Today's, man, it's short and sweet. It's short and sweet. We had 3 hours on the radio last night. And we had a lot of time then, and before then we had Simmons Says, we had all the topic that basically for the last 5 to 6 days on the WBMC What does WBMC stand for? Is it just call letter, just random call letters?
I think it stands for something, but I have no idea.
We got to figure that out because now
It's an interesting question.
Because now that it hit in my brain, it's all I'm going to think up the rest of the day. At WBMC 97.7 FM, hopefully you're listening to us today on Facebook, or if you're listening to us on the app, or if you're just listening to us on the radio, we've had as much discussion and as many people that had a chance to talk about the County Powers Act and had a chance to vote. I mean, we had 12 of the 24 people that voted on the County Powers Act last night on our show in the last 5 days. So, I mean, we've had these discussions over and over. And my 2 cents on all this is I'm very appreciative of the people who wanted to take the time to answer questions and around all this area, because it was not a topic that, as Christy, I think Christy Ross kind of set the tone when it came to this topic when she said it was a lose-lose on this program last week, and I don't disagree. And the moment that you kind of opened your mouth up to speak on the topic, you put yourself in the lose-lose. In fact, I mean, I don't think there's any question that, despite the fact that I'm a host of a radio show, 2 radio shows on this air, that I think that I still think that we were in a lose, that somehow we got in a lose here, Connor, because there was going to be people that there's as many times that there was people that might have liked some of the opinions we had on this show, or some of this just the guests that we had on the show. Some people didn't, and they might have turned off.
I mean, that's the other thing. They're opinions.
Mm-hmm.
And what do they say about opinions?
Everyone has one.
Yep.
And then, again, what Jeff Smith says, what app? We got the WBMC app if you go on, if you use your phone.
Android, Apple.
Yeah, everything. You can just download it and it'll be the WBMC app, so you can get WBMC anywhere you go. Again, it's tough. That's the 2 cents I took about this, that this was tough. This was a tough decision. If you didn't listen to the people that were telling you over the last 5 or 6 days that they were having a tough time with this, or you just thought, hey, that's platitude, or that's just something that somebody says, but they're not really struggling with this, I think you're wrong. I think you're completely wrong about that, because I sit here and talk to enough people to know that it weighed on them. And they had to go and make a decision. Of course, if you haven't read read about it or haven't heard about it, you can look it up on the Main Street Journal.llc. It was 14-10 no. The County Powers Act was not enacted. Therefore, there was not a resolution voted on about rock quarry distances and setting setting limits on where they could operate in Warren County. There was a lot of people that had to stand up there, men and women, who said their piece, said it with confidence, said it with caring, said it with compassion. And I think that hopefully a lot of those folks slept a little bit better last night, and will sleep a little bit better this week. And then I think they hopefully can settle back in to a little bit of normalcy in their lives. In fact, I'm kind of grateful in this fact that I got a football coach going on the show today. I'm a little bit back into the normalcy of my life.
No more politicians.
Yeah, no more politicians. I'm not trying to be one. And look, I like talking to anybody on the Simmons Says program. In fact, let's cue up some Nickelback real quick. Never made it as a wise man. I couldn't cut it as a poor man stealing. Tired of living like a blind man. I'm sick aside without a sense of feeling, and this is how. All right, we talk about it. Who's the blind man on this? You're blind if you think that I don't have the ability to try to look on both sides of this topic or any topic on this situation, or if I don't want to have a opinion of this from both sides on really any topic. And I'm not saying that I want to be on both sides of the topic. I'm saying that myself on the Simmons Says show, and really I think this applies to everything on WBMC, we want to present the topic from both angles. And I think we did a great job of that last week.
Yep.
I think if you go back and look and you see the 12 people that were represented on the programs of this show, that I think it would probably break down pretty evenly to how the vote was. That we probably had about, I think it might have been 7-5 that the people that visited on here were no votes. Well, then it went up 14-10, which was almost an entire perfect representation of how that vote was going to end up going. And I think people will, well, that's not 50-50 if it's 7-5. Well, the vote wasn't 50-50. We had a perfect representation of that. I don't have a problem talking to anybody on this show. Nobody. You want to talk on this show? If you have a problem with me and want to talk on this show, 473-9383. We have a phone line for that. We got a comment section over here. Don't duck it. I don't have a problem with that at all. I'm not blind to the fact that my opinion's not always the right one or not always the popular one on that. If we have any problem with that, I promise you, we can have that discussion. We have what we got here. 1, 2. I got 3 mics in the room with me. I have no problem being on the other end of a conversation where it might be uncomfortable, or if you think that you're going to come in and challenge me or anything like that. I feel like I'm pretty knowledgeable if I get behind the mic on a topic. 1, and then 2, if you want to challenge me on something, and if I can't back it up, then I think that you've proven your point. So again, on stuff like that, I have no. If you think that I'm trying to only steer this thing that my way, which I didn't even really have a way on this last one, on the big topic, but on a lot of different topics, sports, anything like that, come in, call, message me. My email is jeff.simmons@mainstreetmedia.llc. I got time, man. I got a lot of radio time. If you want to come on the show and talk to me, that's fine. I got a comment section. I got a phone line, and then I got an email, and then I don't have a wait list on my guest right now. In fact, I don't even know who's going to be on the show tomorrow yet. But I'll tell you who's going to be on the show today.
Is it
Coach Eric Ballou. And he's going to be here on the breakout when we come back. This is the Simmons Says Show on 97.7 FM WBMC.
Get a shiver in the dark, it's raining in the park, but meantime, sound of the river, you stop and you hold everything. A band is blowing Dixie, double fall time.
Make the places you care about more comfortable and energy efficient with TVA Energy Right. It all starts at EnergyRight.com, where you can find everything you need to lower your energy usage for your home or your business. Contact Caney Fork Electric Energy Advisors Dale or Chris at 931-473-3116 or go to EnergyRight.com to start living and working more energy efficiently. Caney Fork Electric along with EnergyRight.com for all your energy needs. Brought to you by Caney Fork Electric Cooperative and TVA.
Are you tired of being judged? Well, we here at USA Gym are too. We come in all different shapes and sizes with a variety of goals and ideas. At USA Gym, we are 29,000 square feet with a huge variety of equipment in different rooms. Do your kids play ball or do you just want to shoot some hoops? At USA Gym, we have basketball, soccer, volleyball, pickleball, golf, and a walking track indoors. And we're not done yet. Try out our functional HIIT training room, boxing, battle ropes, a place to push sleds, and more. We also offer childcare, so we'll watch your kids while you're worked out. Come check us out. 473-9355.
Why don't you head over to Chicken Chef and enjoy a fresh made-to-order meal, or choose from the all-time favorite like the Chicken Nugget Dinner. Stop in for breakfast, order right off the menu with sausage, gravy, fresh homemade biscuits, or try their delicious tenderloin, egg, and cheese biscuit, just to name a few. Whatever your taste buds call for, you're sure to find it at Chicken Chef. They've been serving Warren and surrounding counties for over 40 years. Stop in today, Chicken Chef on the Strip in McMinnville. You can call your order in to go at 473-5020.
Oh, why won't this work?
Don't lose your cool. Call Black's Heating and Air for a preseason check-in service on your central air conditioning system. It can increase the life and dependability of your unit while reducing the chances of a very sticky situation.
Unbelievable!
Get that air conditioner checked now.
This is Benny Black.
And this is Seth Black with Black's Heating and Air.
Call today, 931-668-0785.
Benny's slogan at Black's Heating and Air is, once you've had Black, you won't go back.
Mention this ad and you can get a discount.
It's time to upgrade that new kitchen with Redmond's high-quality cabinets and countertops. Choose from a variety of styles and finishes to create that perfect look for your space. Their team of experts at Redmond's will work with you to design a functional and beautiful kitchen that meets your needs. Right next to Redmond's Carpet at 2512 Old Nashville Highway. Call them at 931-668-4900. That's Redmond's Kitchen Cabinets and Countertops.
So you're a current Ben Lomond Fiber customer and you haven't added Ben Lomond Home yet. Here's what you're missing out on. A dual-band Wi-Fi 6 GigaSpire Blast router that should anything ever happen to it, we replace it free of charge. A smartphone app that allows you to change your network password, pause the internet to individual devices, and so much more. Plus in-depth device troubleshooting with our local 24/7 customer support center. All that for less than 10 cents a day. Stop missing out and add Ben Lomond Home today.
Hello, and welcome back to the Simmons Says show here on WBMC 97.7 FM. I am Jeff Simmons. I want to make sure we thank our sponsors. And again, Simmons Says is brought to you in part by Douglas and Lanier Agency, your hometown insurance experts specializing in commercial coverage for agriculture, contractors, and workers' comp. They protect businesses big and small. Trust a team that knows hard work. Smart coverage, straight talk. That's Douglas and Lanier. 811 Faulkner Springs Road, 474-0044. Really appreciate them. Connor, you did a little bit of research in the break. Figured out what WBMC means, man.
I did,
and that is you said. Do you want to do it, or you want? I mean, you did it. So you did the legwork.
So, BMC is the last names of the founders. It's going to be ID Byers,
B,
Joe Matas.
Oh, yep. M
and Clyde Cope.
C. So that's BMC.
And the W is for anything east of the Mississippi. Any radio station east of the Mississippi.
Gets a W.
Gets a W.
On the east side.
I know. Hey, FCC, man. I'm kidding. FCC.
Easy.
Don't come for us.
Oh, our live stream just crashed, Connor. No, it didn't.
You guys are like the IRS. We love you.
Man, you can't be putting that out there. Coach Blue, welcome to the show, man.
Glad to be here. Appreciate you having me.
All right, so the first question I got, and we were talking about it in the first segment, I've got this nifty hat now.
Yeah.
I got the blue on.
Mm-hmm.
I already had somebody that messaged me on Snapchat. They saw the picture, and they said, you look like you're on the coaching staff. What position do I look like I coach with this look?
You're going to paint me in a corner. So the hat, the cotton polo is 100% offensive line.
Yes. That's what I thought it was going to end up going. Yeah.
It's the cotton, the 100% cotton. That's O-line through and through.
Yeah, I was gonna say this. If you're not wearing the breathable, I mean, as what you have on, that's not. You're not a position. You're not one of a skill position coach.
Yeah.
If you're wearing the cotton.
Right.
You're in the. I was thinking, offensive line coach, defensive line coach, or like the special teams coach.
Yeah.
I think, what was it, the one that was on Hard Knocks, the guy from the Browns, I think?
Oh, yeah, the Hut Gut.
The Hut Gut, yeah. That was kind of what I was sitting there thinking. I was like, I look like Hut Gut guy. Connor, if you want to look that up, you can see.
Here, I'll do it like what I did last night, pull up a picture, and I'll put it on your camera.
Oh, yeah, you can put it over there. Oh, mercy. Well, we've got a question that for you in the comment section, which is this on football TV shows. I think if people remember our first conversation when we asked about football movies, said Friday Night Lights or Blue Mountain State.
I've seen both.
Yeah,
Friday Night Lights.
I think the Friday Night Light TV show, especially and maybe even just season 1, might be as good of football.
Oh, absolutely.
That I've seen, like just in general, I've seen.
Well, those are two polar opposite approaches to a show.
They're both family friendly.
Depending on what family you're from.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, your family.
Yeah,
there you go, Connor. All right, Coach. Well, hey, we wanted to have you in here. We got a lot. You're about to be a busy man.
That's right.
So let us know when spring practice starting.
So spring practice starts next Wednesday. Okay. So what's today? So 8 days from today.
Okay. So that'll be the 30th.
Yes, that's correct. We'll practice that Wednesday and Thursday. Then we'll come back and start practicing 4 days a week over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I say that you're about to be a busy man, but that would say that you're not. That it's not like you're not doing anything right now. But I think that y'all have been pretty busy right now. How's weightlifting going? How's off season stuff hit for y'all?
Yeah, it's been good. One thing that I like is we got a lot of kids participating in other sports. With soccer, track, and baseball. Mm-hmm. What I tell a lot of those guys is, realistically, I hope I don't have you in the spring. I hope you're making a run in your spring sports, and then we get you in the summer. But a lot of success in those sports, and we're following those guys. The ones that we're getting in weights have just really been getting after it. We've been doing 2 sessions, some that come in the morning before school, some that come after. So they've just been getting after it, and there seems to be a lot of excitement about the future ahead.
Yeah, I've been seeing your updates that y'all been putting on on Facebook about your lifters of the week. So we're getting stronger.
That's right, absolutely. I mean, and that's all them. That's them putting the work in.
Yep. And as you may not know, if you're not a football fan, being strong helps.
It helps, absolutely.
Helps a lot, and it doesn't. And we're not just for the old O-line coaches out there.
Yeah.
I mean, you come from the skill positions. How's that help? Hey, there it is. Yeah, that guy.
There it is, the hut gut.
That's my new role model, Connor.
That was the most flattering picture I could find.
That's pretty close, man. Yeah. I was gonna say from the skill position wise, I mean, where does the strength and being weight room strong, but also being able to translate that to the field?
Yeah, I think the only way to be fast and generate speed is to be able to generate force against the ground, right? And that's squats and even your upper body strength of being able to drive your elbows back and drive them forward. I mean, strength is what generates speed. And I'm really excited. We did some 40s a couple weeks ago just to see the kids, and really you'll see it on how fast they come out of their stance, and just the excitement and the eye pop of some of those guys when they do that. It's really fun to see.
So do we have some eye popping 40s on there?
We do.
We got some.
We do.
We got some 4s. Numbers that start with 4?
We do.
That's always good.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
always
absolutely.
good when it starts to stuff. I think people get a little bit enamored as like, they had to be 4 4s. I'm like, hey man, a true 4-4
right
is I mean, you've been in this game for a while. A true 4-4 guy, those don't come around all the time.
I mean, look at the NFL Combine of how little amount of guys ran sub 4.5.
Yeah.
And it's different than your uncle timing you in the backyard. This is the real deal.
No, this kid ran a 4.32 the other day. I timed him on my phone.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so he's running about 4.8.
Yeah, those lasers will give you a slice of humble pie really quick.
Yeah, which hey, look, man. I mean, 4.8. I don't, the only time I've ever run a 4.8 in my entire life was like probably Saturday.
The ice cream truck.
Yeah, it was Sunday. No, it was Sunday to the food line.
Oh yeah.
When mom rang the bell and said, "Hey, Easter dinner's ready," and it's like, "Hey, I'm gonna be the first one to that."
Just throwing your brother out of the way.
And I knocked everybody away. Women and children, get out of the way.
That's it.
I eat first.
Yeah.
So speaking of this weekend, how a holiday weekend. Mm-hmm. How have you gotten acclimated, and how do you get? I mean, because I guess like a holiday season might be the first time where you got, okay, this might have been. Was this your first holiday in McMinnville?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what was that like? Because I know it's always different everywhere. It seems like.
Yeah, Hannah's family still lives in Georgia, where we moved from. My family, they still live in Columbia, which my parents are retiring from teaching this year.
Oh,
we're really excited about that. So, my dad's going to be able to be around, him being a coach, and so we went down to Georgia.
Okay.
Spent a couple nights there, and and then my parents came up on Sunday, and we did some steaks, and so we got to see everybody and spend some time together. So, really excited about. We're kind of right in the middle between both of them, so it's not a bad drive down there. It's not a bad drive for us to Columbia, so it's pretty nice.
Yeah. My dad just messaged me, which means that I think he's going to go for the same joke that I did. That, yeah. Oh, he said 4-5 in minutes, not seconds. When I was talking about running. Yeah, he's right. And I thought he was going to go with when you said something about going. Y'all headed down to Georgia, that he was going to ask about whether if you met anybody with a fiddle or anything,
or if the lights went out.
Yeah, yeah. So got to spend some family time, but
that was great.
I guess. What has been the acclimation process being in McMinnville more often now? Because I think what was your official first day?
It was that first week of February.
First week of February. So now you've had about 2 months to settle in. I mean, I know that you got your 5-iron. You've taken aim at the radio station if you need to. But has it been a pretty good settling process? Are y'all kind of in now?
Yeah, it's been great. We officially moved in really close. Like that's why I sent you that picture. I was listening to you guys on my phone. Yeah. And I was just getting some cuts out in my driveway, and I look up, and I'm like, well, I can see the radio station from here, So that's been great. And,
did you pick up your Mud Bumps card while you were here? By the way, you got the Hot Wings hot take. Yeah, you got
really?
a $15 gift card sitting in the lobby.
Oh man,
make sure you grab that before you leave.
Well, and that's actually it's funny you said that's what I was about to get into. Was the food in McMinnville has been exceptional. Yeah. We ate Mud Bums, I guess, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Okay. We feel like we've hit all of the local spots, and my wife and I we have a pretty high standard when it comes to food, and it's been everywhere's just been exceptional. People ask me my favorite, and it's really, really difficult to decide.
You don't want to get into don't pick favorites just yet.
You
know, maybe give it a second or third go around.
Yeah, that's right.
But hey, there's a lot of other things that the businesses in Warren County are doing for that are helping out, and we're going to get to that when we get back from break. We want to make sure we thank our sponsors again, Douglas Lanier. Douglas Lanier is an independent insurance agency specializing in home and auto, life and health, business insurance, farm insurance, investments, and more. Visit Douglas Lanier Agency at 811 Faulkner Springs Road or call 931-474-0044. We will be back after the break with Coach Eric Ballou of the Warren County High School football team.
She is a stranger. You and I have history, or don't you remember? Sure, she's got it all. But baby, is that really what...
Talk Radio WBMC News is next.
The McMinnville Warren County Chamber of Commerce is more than a membership, it's a partnership. Whether you're just starting out or looking to take your business to the next level, the Chamber connects you with the tools, resources, and connections you need to succeed. More visibility, better networking, and a stronger community. It's all waiting for you. Visit warrentn.com today and see how a membership can make a difference for your business. The McMinnville Warren County Chamber of Commerce, your key to success.
In the Main Street Journal news, a measure to let Warren County regulate rock quarries failed Monday night, missing the 2/3 vote needed. The County Powers Act received 14 votes in favor and 10 against. It followed concerns from Dibble residents about a rumored quarry on Roy Foster Road. Despite strong community support, the full commission rejected the committee-backed proposal. In other news, Brandon Mays, 22 years old, was arrested on Morrison Street and faces 5 counts of assault, 1 count of domestic assault, and 1 count of vandalism. He remains in jail on a $20,000 bond and is scheduled for arraignment in General Sessions Court today. Meanwhile, former Warren County Sheriff Tommy Myers, who served over 30 years in local law enforcement, passed away Sunday and is remembered as a skilled investigator and dedicated public servant. For more, subscribe to www.mainstreetjournal.llc. With the news, I'm Justin Reed.
Hi, this is Jay Walker, the voice of the Pioneers, and I've got something just for you Pioneer fans. It's the Warren County Sports app, an app that's as dedicated to our middle and high school teams as you are. Live scores, schedules, news updates, and rosters. It's the ultimate tool for staying connected to every play, every game, and every Pioneer and Lady Pioneer moment. I use it, and I think you should too. Download the Warren County Sports app today from your Apple or Google App Marketplace. Let's keep Pioneer tradition strong together.
Today, it's going to be mostly cloudy skies with a high near 76, with a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms most likely this morning and again this afternoon. Light winds shifting to the north-northeast around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies with a low around 58, a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms early this evening, with just a slight chance of showers later on and calm winds. Fun fact, Thor's name means thunder in Old Norse, fitting for the god of storms and lightning. Until next time, keep shining. This is Tisha with your weather.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place.
Hello and welcome back to the Simmons Says radio show here on WBMC 97.7 FM. Hope everybody's enjoying their Tuesday morning. Hope everybody's out there in the radio land or in the Facebook comment section or just on the app, anywhere you're getting your WBMC radio news. We really appreciate you out there. And again, we also appreciate our sponsor, Reddit Brown Ford on 5917 Manchester Highway. Reddit Brown is where service meets you and your time comes first. Go on the website and schedule your service today and let Jordan, the service manager over there at Reddit Brown Ford, and his fine team take care of your vehicle. You can reach that at redditbrownford.com. Again, 5917 Manchester Highway. Coach, you've been around. You've been talking to businesses. I mean, we're talking about businesses on here. Got a lot of fundraisers that you got to do.
Yep.
Because I don't know if people know this or not, but football is not the cheapest sport to play.
That's right. It's very expensive.
There's pads and there's helmets. There's ever evolving helmets.
That's
I hear.
Right. Yeah.
That we gotta protect these kids, and we gotta make sure that they're padded up and protected right. And so we gotta run some funds, and I think that's what y'all are kind of working on a little bit right now. How's the fundraising process working?
Yeah. So what we're trying to do is provide a holistic experience with our players. We want to have great coaching to cover the physical realm of it, and then also the social and character aspect of it. Where we have a character coach that's going to be coming in that'll be announced here in the near future. But then also the nutrition side of it. That's another component that not a lot of high schools have resources to provide when it comes to hydration and protein supplementation. I met with Brandon Eckel at McMinnville Nutrition, and he has been a rock star. He's doing a fundraiser that is all of the funds is going to McMinnville Nutrition for them to provide supplementation for us, 100% of those.
Wow.
So what that looks like is you do a dollar amount donation that gets you a certain amount of entries to go towards a vacation, and he's 5 winners for that.
What kind of vacations are we talking about?
We're talking, I think one of them is to the Dominican Republic at a resort.
I don't have my passport.
And then,
actually, I don't know. Is that? I don't want to get into the math on that.
Yeah. Well, and then also a 3-night, 4-day Gatlinburg trip.
Well, that's more in my speed, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and that's really, really important because, if we want to have a holistic approach, we got to cover all of the phases of what it comes to or what's required to be an athlete. So them having the opportunity to get a protein shake or a hydration drink after practice. I mean, that's what these elite level college programs are doing.
Yeah.
And we want to mimic that. We want to provide a Division I, Power 5 level experience at the high school level.
That's it's very interesting that you're talking about that because one of the sports that I have continued to watch on the college level, not so much the ones that it seems like it's all about money anymore. Even though I'm going to say this and everybody's going to say, "Hey, that one's about money too." But I watch a lot of UT baseball.
Yeah,
and every single I think you kind of follow it a little bit too, even though I know you're not a big Tennessee fan. There, if I remember
that's
that correctly.
Okay.
But Liam Doyle, their number one pitcher who transferred in. When they talk about what's the difference between that, the first thing he talks about is the strength coach.
Yeah.
And then the next person he talks about is the nutritionist.
Yeah.
And it's not like, hey, you didn't even get to the pitching coach in the first two things. I mean, he immediately strength coach, and then the nutrition value is gigantic. I mean, this is. I mean, you're hitting on something that a lot of people that I think we've kind of in this rush in Warren County of what can we do and how can we help. That's never been one that I think someone was like, hey, we should maybe pinpoint that one. Not to say that anybody's neglected it, but to really get into it would be a gigantic thing. I mean, and Brandon Eccles, he is an intense athlete on his own.
He is a go-getter. And him kind of spearheading that for us has been great. We had some players come in last week, and he kind of explained, how he wants to help. And what it boils down to is it really doesn't matter how fast or strong you are. If you don't have the adequate energy to complete a task physically, then it really doesn't matter how good you are, And one thing we can't control really is what happens and what our kids are consuming when they're not under our radar, but we can control that when they are.
Yep.
And we want to be able to provide as much as possible for those kids when they're under our watch.
Yeah, That's awesome. That is awesome. Shout out to Brandon Eckel and his team over there at McMinnville Nutrition. Great job by y'all to kind of get that set up. I don't know. However that worked out to get that going is big time on that. Brandon Eckel actually came by and McMinnville Nutrition brought in a bunch of drinks for our girls last year at one point when we were having, I think, like summer camps and working on something. And They're amazing.
They taste great.
They're really good.
Yeah, we're not talking about the old protein shakes from 20 years ago. I mean, they're the real deal.
Yeah, they're good and they're good for you.
Yeah,
man.
don't taste healthy. That's the way to go. Make it healthy and make it taste like a dessert.
Yeah,
so
he's got it going on. So that's one that y'all are working on that I think they'll be very beneficial. And again, as Coach Blue has stressed there, you can go over to McMinnville Nutrition. That's something that they're helping fund. I think that you make a donation, they put your name on a football, put it up there. Someone says so. No more Rice Krispie treats during practice.
Well. In moderation, right? We don't want to ruin.
That's just the O-line. The old O-line coach is giving them Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, that's right.
Not too much. So he's doing that. Mm-hmm. You go over there, you get your name put on a football, and again, like you said, he's also you can help the football program, and you might end up in Gatlinburg or Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Let's not flip it out there. We'll get all the details on that, and I'll tell and out of the break, and I can tell you all exactly where he's looking to maybe send you if you're helping the football program over there at McMinnville Nutrition. Mm-hmm. Any other fundraisers y'all are working on?
Yeah, so the next one will start next Friday, which I believe is May 2nd. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a social media strictly donation fundraiser.
Okay.
And that's going to go directly towards equipment and cloth for the players to have. It's really important to me that all of our players look the same. But if you're going to ask the players to do that, you need to provide them the material to do so, right? So we've got workout gear for them. We're going to have gear for them on Fridays. One thing that I really like to do is, like colleges, with exception of cleats, I'd love to raise enough money to provide cleats for the players, but we will kind of assembly line on Friday when they start getting their equipment. Hey, this is your undershirt. These are your socks. We want to provide those kids with the swag that they want to wear. And I think the only way to ask them, hey, we're all going to look the same, we've got to be able to fund that.
Yeah.
And that also goes towards, equipment, when in regards to safety and future purchases for equipment like that.
Yeah, we were talking during the break, and right now it's not like, hey, we love safety. Everybody promotes safety, and everybody needs safety on there. And I think when you talk about football, you start with the head.
Yep,
when it comes
absolutely.
to safety. And safety is great. Safety ain't cheap.
Safety's not cheap.
Yeah, helmets anymore, it seems like, you're talking about, for a 50, 100-person team, you be talking about, you're quickly in five figures when it comes to trying to get helmets for a football program, particularly one that you hope is going to grow and continue to grow, which means when you continue to grow it, you got to continue to fund it. And I think that's where Warren County, it sounds like Warren County can help. So you said that was going to start on May the 2nd?
Yeah, that'll go on May the 2nd. That'll go all the way till May 22nd, which is the day after the Red and Blue game.
Okay.
We're not going to charge people a admission for the Red and Blue game, but we will hand out flyers and encourage a donation for that. So, in the past, I've done these donations to raise it. And here's the thing with it, every fundraiser is great because everybody's got to raise money, but this is one of those deals where you don't have to worry about anything. You're not going to have to come pick something up. There's really nothing asked of you. It's just, hey, we need this to provide, equipment and cloth for our players.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see when you're trying to do those where it helps, because sometimes you don't want to ask somebody for money unless you're giving them something back. But then sometimes, like you said, there's some people that are just like, can I just give you some money? I don't really want anything. We do fish fries occasionally for our team, and then all of a sudden people are like, hey, I don't want any fish, man. And you can just take $20. It's like, well, we'll do that, but we got all this fish. If you like to take
somebody's got to eat it.
Yeah. So it's things of that nature. But I think that, again, this is just another way that sounds like the Warren County can come out and help support the Warren County Pioneers, who are going to be on a total new coach, new coaching staff, new schedule, a lot of new. And we'll talk about all the new that is coming up for Warren County after this break. We want to again thank Reddick Brown Ford. If you're in the market for a vehicle, make the short drive down 55 to Morrison to visit Reddick Brown, which has the largest selection and best prices on Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. 5917 Manchester Highway, Morrison, Tennessee. That is Reddick Brown Ford. We will be back with Coach Ballou after the break.
At Pioneer Building Supply, we're your one-stop shop for lumber, tools, and building supplies. Whether you're tackling a major renovation or just need a few materials for a small project, we've got you covered. From framing to finishing touches, we have the products and expertise to help you get the job done right. Stop by and see us today at 231 Northgate Drive, Suite 250, McMinnville, or give us a call at 931-473-7777. Our friendly, knowledgeable team is always ready to help you with whatever you need for your next project. For 50 years, Pioneer Building Supply has been the trusted name in construction materials. We've built our reputation on quality, service, and the commitment to your success. Pioneer Building Supply, building your dreams since 1975.
Pioneer Building Supply.
Pioneer Building Supply, where good business make good friends.
Pioneer Building Supply.
Big savings, short month.
Now is the time to buy at Ed Rogers Valley Ford. Get in the new Ford you've been dreaming of. A 2024 Ford Escape, $7,000 off MSRP, just $24,985 after rebate.
Make your escape with the SUV to carry the family and all the necessities, clothes, sports equipment, groceries.
Test drive a new Ford Bronco at Ed Rogers Valley Ford. Power to get the work done. And right now, get up to $19,200 off MSRP. Several Broncos in stock now.
The Ford F-150 is tough, always has been, always will be. Your 2024 F-150 is waiting at Ed Rogers Valley Ford. Save $8,550 off MSRP right now.
Talk about power. Talk about luxury. The Ford Expedition and Expedition Max combines them both. $12,000 off MSRP.
Big savings, short month.
And the clock's ticking, so get to Ed Rogers Valley Ford right now. 111 Auto Lane in Sparta. Or view all the current inventory at EdRogersValleyFord.com.
Big savings now.
Douglas and Lanier, that's where I choose to be. Douglas and Lanier, that's the agency for me.
For rock solid insurance coverage or sound financial planning for my family's future, Douglas and Lanier is where I choose to call home.
Call Douglas and Lanier, your local Erie agents, at 811 Faulkner Springs Road, McMinnville, at 931-474-0044.
Remember how your grandmother cooked all those special meals that you ate all your life? Well, I was spoiled. My grandmother and my mother both prepared meals for me daily.
And if you're lucky, Newt might just share a story with you.
If not a story, I will give you or share a piece of Mary Etta's cobbler. How about that?
Newt's Barbecue in Rock Island and now McMinnville. Eat with the legends. More adventures from Caden, the Coca-Cola Crate Kid, and Newt's Barbecue.
WBMC and translator W249DQ McMinnville. WBMC.
Hello and welcome back to the Simmons Says radio show here on WBMC 97.7 FM. Who's the artist of that song? Do you know?
What's it start with?
C.
I'm not going to get it.
Chumbawamba.
Chumbawamba.
Tub Thumping? Is that correct?
Yeah, Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba.
Thank you.
I should have known.
You can't beat Chumbawamba.
Yeah, you can't beat
They're the funniest anti-fascist
very
UK punk band.
Yeah, so
not going to be able to sleep tonight.
Yeah, put him on the spot on that one. I apologize. Anyway, before we get back to our conversation with Coach Eric Ballou, let's make sure we thank our sponsor. That is the Cafe at Tree City. Coffee drinker?
Absolutely. Love coffee.
Well, hey, the cafe's got you covered over at 809 Sparta Street. Cafe's open from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. If you want a refreshing brew, a bold espresso, skilled baristas are right there ready to craft the perfect cup for you.
Love
the
it.
Cafe at Tree City. And I want to make sure they tell everybody, next Monday, April the 28th, we will be doing a live Simmons Says program from the Cafe at Tree City. So for all of our fans that want to see me, just come over there, have a cup of coffee. I've never been a big coffee drinker, but I think that I'm just going to let those live remotes that we do get me going.
Yeah.
Get me going on that. We'll see how it goes. I think they said, hey, we'll give you like a caramel macchiato.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, you'll not even realize you're drinking coffee.
That's true.
So I don't know.
I like it black, though.
Yeah, see?
Like the good Lord intended.
Yeah. So I was going to say, everybody that said that is just like, hey, just drink it black. Maybe I should just try it.
Look.
It's an acquired taste, I think, if you give it a little bit.
Work your way to it, Jeff.
Trevor Evans just commented in here and said, Jeff wearing Warren County 2 days in a row. His Boyd laundry must be dirty. Trev, I can't sew it, but Coach can verify. I got the blue and orange shoe, or I got the blue and orange on the shoes.
He does.
Yeah, I got the blue and orange on the shoes, my friend. Hey, Hey, let's not make it like that. Come on now. I got Coach Blue here. We're going to talk about Warren. We're here to talk about Warren County sports. And one of those things is you as you mentioned before, red and blue game.
Yeah.
You know, what's the excitement about that right now? Because that might be the first time that I think a lot of this community is going to see you and what your coaching staff kind of instills. I mean, what are you looking for in that game?
Yeah, I think the first approach with that is new system on really all three phases of the game. Mm-hmm. You don't really want to spend 2.5 weeks preparing for another program, right? So it's really just going to be about us and what we're trying to accomplish, with our players. Numbers is going to dictate, how healthy we are going into that, on what the format will be.
Yep.
But, worst case scenario, it's just going to be a whole lot of team where we're just competing 11 on 11 in front of a crowd and, really just a chance for our kids, number one, for recruiting to put some stuff on film, so we can help them out with that process. They can see how much their body's transformed over the past couple months. But then also just a time for our kids to have fun, right? Be with the community and all of us come together. One thing we want to let the football alumni know that they'll have a place, on the sideline to be on the field and, be able to kind of, mingle with our players and alumni relations is going to be something that's going to be really important to us moving forward.
Awesome. Yeah. Hey, look, I'm not on like the picture row anymore in there. So hey, as more people, it ain't gonna be in my way down there.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's awesome. I think that's a great start and a great way to build into the community on that. Again, there's another thing that you said that y'all are gonna be working out trying to build the community, and that is we want the high school team to be good.
Yeah.
But if the high school team is going to be good, we kind of get people ready for it. So what are you doing on that edge?
We have a youth camp that's going to be on June 3rd, 4th, and 5th. I believe that's correct. But that's that Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday of the first full week in June. That'll go from 1 to 3. It's $35 a camper for all 3 days. Campers that sign up beforehand will get a T-shirt, and then the remaining T-shirts for walk-ups will be kind of first come, first serve. But they'll have a snack. McMinnville Nutrition is going to be there. They're going to have a station to provide kids those experience. And really the whole premise behind that is this isn't a huge moneymaker for us. What this is we want Warren County football to be an institution, right? We want those kids when they're playing, at 6 years old, they can't even put their knee pads on right. Like we want them to be wearing blue and red all the way, up till when they're 18 years old and they graduate. So this is one of the first steps in that process.
Yeah, and as you said it's going to be the first week of June, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday?
Yep.
That would be June 3rd through the 5th?
Yep, 3rd through the 5th.
$35 a camper.
Yep, for the whole week.
And how can they register for that?
They can sign up through our Facebook page online. And then they can we'll also hold walk-ups, but we really want to encourage people to fill out that form. Takes, 60 seconds to get that completed out. Yep. That way we can kind of get a general idea. We've already had over 20 kids sign up awesome. In the first few days.
Yep. All righty. Well, that sounds good. Now, okay, we got the business part taken out of it. We got football. Yep. Are there any other things that we need to make sure that we get everybody know before?
I think we've covered everything.
A lot of talking points. Okay.
Yeah. Let's get to the good stuff.
What has been your welcome to Warren County type of moment right now? Because I was thinking about, I heard Connor and them talking about a particular jingle on a radio ad during the first. Don't tell you what it was, but I always use that one that says, "You ain't from around here." If you don't know that one, have you got "You ain't from around here" yet?
Maybe not really. Everybody's been so helpful and welcoming.
Yeah.
Probably the getting used to one-way street downtown.
Oh,
going in a circle.
Yeah.
Twice I've almost turned left into a one-way lane.
And somebody politely told you you're going the wrong way.
I got a pretty verbal honk from but I was about to run right into where they were driving.
Fair.
So. But I haven't made that was the first week, so I haven't made that mistake since. I think I've got it down pat now.
It actually is interesting to talk about that because I do see people driving around town, and the first thing I think if they do something that is obvious, like they don't know the terrain, I'm like, they're not from here. In fact, it was happening right in where the library is, where if you're going to the library up the street on, I think I should know what that street is. But you have to get into the left lane to try to go straight. But if you're in the right lane, you have to turn right. Well, there was somebody sitting right in the middle of both of them, and me and the person behind them I rolled my window down. We were talking, and we were like, "This guy, they have no clue." I was like, "Do you
Not
think
from here."
Yeah, we were sitting there like, "Do you think they're going straight, or do you think they're going right?" And they were like, "I don't really know." I was like, "I don't either right here."
Yeah.
So we were just kind of over here laughing at it. So I'd say that's a pretty good one to know whether or not whether you're from Warren County or McMinnville or not would be, can you figure out the one ways around downtown? Kevin Hobbs asking the question said, Coach said all alumni are welcome. Does that include us old dudes that played on the 1990 team?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
100%.
Hey man, we that's one of our winningest teams in program history. I don't think we want to shun them.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not shunning anybody.
Yeah, and we're working on some things to where we can bring the alumni together. Hopefully in one event. And we're doing a lot of work on that right now.
And Jay's Restaurant, which would be usually Junior Petite, says, how can a business get involved in helping the football program?
Yeah, so that donation fundraiser that's coming up next week will be a big help. Speaking of safety, we're looking for people to sponsor Q collars, which is the neck brace that people are wearing. It's really small. Long story short, what it does is it compresses your jugular, allows your brain to get more blood flow, expand your brain, less rattling around is kind of the theory behind that. I really like the research behind that. So we're looking for sponsors to possibly provide some of those things.
Awesome. Well, there you go. If you want to reach out to Coach Ballou, he's probably got an email address that you can contact him on. What's your email?
Ballou@warrenschools.com.
Ballou E. And hey, that is BELEW,
Yep.
not Ballou like BLUE, or how it's always corrected when I say your name when we start clipping it. It does the auto generated.
Yeah,
it's BALLOU.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's not it.
There's a lot of those out there, but that's the wrong way.
Yeah.
Well, there's not a title underneath his.
Oh yeah, you couldn't figure it out.
I was like, I'm not going to misspell his name. I misspelled Diamond last night. I'm not doing this today.
You messed up Diamond.
Hey,
man, it's all right.
I gave Nunley a good one though.
You gave Nunley a very
with
flattering
parenthetical.
Yeah,
Rob,
you did a good job for it.
Big apple.
It's
a
you
double
had
entendre.
To. Yeah, you had to because I think
he got a little fiery.
When you called him a little red, he didn't like that at all.
No.
One bit, man. Yeah. Hey, I see some red in the beard over here.
I know he could be.
You don't want to mess with the fire. I mean, I have a little red in my beard too. Yeah. I've been told. Anyways, I denied it for a long time, but apparently, the problem is now is it's going away. It's not even ready anymore. It's just turning gray.
Yeah.
Coach, I think one of the last things I was going to ask you about is I think a lot of people they know your story or know a little bit about you when you were first hired.
Yeah.
But you just turned 30.
31, yeah.
31. I mean, you're a young guy coaching high school football. How has that been a challenge, or how has that been a benefit? Because I feel like there's probably a little bit of both.
Yeah, absolutely. You have the general thought is that younger coaches have an easier opportunity to develop relationships with kids because of the age gap. That's kind of a notion. I really don't think that matters. I know experienced coaches well into their 60s that are great with relationships with kids, and then, kind of the counter to that is, less experience, less wisdom. But one thing I can say is that I grew up as a head coach's kid. This is all I've ever known. My first teaching and coaching job was under Hall of Famer Bobby Sharp, who was at Lewis County for over 30 years, Hall of Famer. One thing that he always told me is that you always have to be learning, and that's coming from somebody that you would think there's nothing left for him to learn, right? So I think through that process has really allowed me to humble myself, and I always wanted to be the best assistant coach I could possibly be because I always wanted to serve my head coach and serve the players around me. So I feel like the approach of, it's not about me, it's not about my age, or it's not about my title. It's about providing the best experience possible for these kids. Yeah. And winning, I think, is a byproduct of that. That'll never be the reason why we're doing, what we're doing. So that's kind of the approach that I've always liked to take.
Yeah. So I think that's a perfect perfect answer when it comes to, because I know people are going to, I don't know why. I don't know what is the age that you don't have to be, that when people are like, that's acceptable.
I think it's more so appearance than anything.
Maybe,
if I had a gray beard, people
are like,
And I know gray-haired people at 31 years old. You know, it happens, and I think, but it's really just It's just a figure point.
I've always been curious. In fact, we had a baseball coach when I first started covering that was in his 20s, and that was kind of he's in his 20s. And I'm like, what age does he have to get to before it's like, now we can respect him a little bit. Yeah, well, Coach, I respect you. Respect you, all the things that you're helping do for this Warren County football team. Wish you the best of luck. Hope everything goes well when y'all get started. See you out there next Wednesday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Getting some coverage together on the Main Street Journal for the sports and let everybody know about what's going on with our football program. And I'm sure we'll be talking a lot more between once that starts. I'm sure you'll see me a lot.
Yeah,
we'll be hollering at each other a lot. We'll have you on the. We'll have to get you tied in somewhere on the Warren County Sports Authority.
That would be great.
Yeah,
Love to.
Appreciate that. Hey, want to make sure we thank the cafe at Tree City. What sounds good to you? A classic latte, a refreshing cold brew, a bold espresso? Don't have to choose. You can have all three at the cafe at Tree City, 8009 Sparta Street, where you can wake up, sip up, and enjoy. This is the Simmons Says program on WBMC 97.7 FM. We will be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Man, Connor, I'm really struggling. 9 a.m. tomorrow. Yeah. And then we will also have the Warren County Sports Authority show tomorrow night at 5 p.m. WBMC 97.7 FM. I'm sure that everybody is ready to see Sullins, Trev, and I back in the studio after our 3-hour escapade.
They're so excited.
Thanks, Coach, for coming in.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Pioneer Building Supply.
Pioneer Building Supply, where good business make good friends.
Pioneer Building Supply.